Hey guys, it's Jake. In this video, I'll be explaining how to actually start a clothing brand on a low budget. So we'll start with how to actually make the clothing. There's a couple ways you can do this. The first one is print on demand. This is the easiest and most straightforward. It's nice if you really know nothing and just want to start learning the basics of doing business and selling products at a profit. But it's ingenuine and doesn't really allow you to stand out in the market. I think the packaging the customer receives has the branding of the print on demand service you use, which you definitely don't want tied to your brand going long term. So we won't be using this method for this video. The second method is to make it yourself. This gives you more control over your product. This requires an initial investment for equipment and machinery, which can be expensive and not very wallet friendly. Usually a basic screen printing setup can be a few $100s, or embroidery machine can cost more than $1,000. This is best when you have a little bit more capital to play with, so we won't be entertaining this method in this video. The third method is to use a screen print or embroidery service. This would be the best option when starting out. You just need capital for shipping supplies and enough to cover the labor expenses of making your clothes. If you don't know where to look for an immediate screen printing or embroidery service, I recommend Limitless Manufacturing. I've used them before and their turnaround times are pretty good. If you reach out to them, tell them Seek sent you and get $100 off your first order. This is the general list of what you need. You need a website, you need a business Instagram, which is an Instagram account that's linked to a Facebook page and categorized as a business account. Gives you access to analytics and stuff like that, and it's also free to do. You need a Reddit account, you need Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, or any other drawing software. There are ways to get these from torrenting, but I don't suggest doing that. Some sort of packaging, I recommend poly mailers. You need packing tape. Thermal printer is super useful but not required in the beginning, but I heavily recommend you invest in one as you get more orders. And a wholesale account with vendors, which I've talked about in a previous video. This isn't really required in the beginning because most likely your screen print or embroidery service you use will have an account already with these vendors and can order on your behalf and get the blank clothes shipped directly to them. But it would help in the future if you want to order the blanks yourself, then bring them to the manufacturer. This helps with planning and lead times. So for whatever your brand is, you need a logo, a name, and an idea for the vibe or aesthetic for your clothes. I can't help you with your logo or name. That is completely up to you. In regard to the type of graphics you want to make, this is also up to you. You can make them yourself in Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, or whatever drawing software you use, or hire a graphic designer to make them. There's tons on Instagram to DM and hire, or you can use a freelance website like Upwork.com or Fiverr.com. Here are some graphic designers from Instagram that I'm plugging for you to check out. I made a previous video called How to Start a Clothing Brand the Easy Way, and that video is satire. It's essentially making fun of all the cookie cutter brands that exist in the market, but there is some truth to it. I'd recommend watching that video with an open mind and coming back to this one for the rest of this thorough explanation. To sell your clothes, you need to market your clothes, and to market them, you need a place where people can visit and look at them. This can be your website and or your Instagram, and in tandem, I recommend posting on Reddit, specifically r/streetwear startup, but I'll get back to that. So now you need pictures to post. You can get samples made and take pictures of real products on a flat white background. These are called flats or on body. Or you can post mock-ups of clothes that don't exist yet, host a pre-order, and sell them that way. Let's talk about both. Samples will cost money from your manufacturer, who usually have a print minimum like 12 or 24 units. Once you have these, they count as inventory and can be shipped to your customers with fast shipping times because they're already pre-made and can be shipped immediately. Fast ship out times is a good incentive for a lot of customers too. Mock-ups are pictures of your desired graphic placed onto a blank garment to appear as if it's a real product already. The downside is you won't be able to have high quality close-up pictures or on-body shots in most cases. This option is deemed as more cost efficient, but there's few places to get consistent colorways amongst garments. One resource I know is Reenostudios Mockup Pack. They sell these PDF files that have clean and organized mockups that can be used instantly. They've been used by Justin Bieber, Dennis Rodman, The Weeknd, Trippie Redd, and a few other notable names. You can use code SEEGS at checkout to get 15% off your entire order. Once you have pictures, either sample pics or mockups, now it's time to post. Disclaimer, everyone watching this will be at a different level, either with 0 followers, 200 followers, 1,000, 6,000, 10,000, and so on. The way you actually apply and execute this advice is totally up to you and how it'll fit your brand. So now it's time to post your clothing pictures. We're going to use Instagram and Reddit to begin. TikTok is an option too, but that's video content and requires a little bit more thought, so I won't be talking about that specifically in this video. But if you got some unique ideas to promote your clothes on there, then I highly recommend it. Let's start with Reddit. Post on r/streetwear startup and just be honest with your product. Hey, I made this screen printed tee, what do you think? Or just released my first embroidered hoodie, what do you think? Title can be anything really. Over time, I probably maybe got 3,000 followers from Reddit way back in the day. Not all at once, obviously. but it's a very tight community and lots of brands go on there to post and or support other designers, as well as consumers go on there to look for any underground brands they want to buy from. I'd recommend to post all your clothing items on there in the beginning to have some sort of extra exposure aside from Instagram. Some posts blow up and some don't, just depends on the time of day and how many people are active to interact with your post. Now to Instagram. Once you post, you'll get some organic likes and possibly comments. To advertise without using ads, I'd recommend to hit up some archive pages like Stay Grounded, Hoodie Archive, or Pieces Archive, and so on, to repost your clothes. Some cost more than others, so be aware of their prices and their engagement on their posts. Another way to get exposure is to use Instagram's built-in promote system. You'll have to connect your business Instagram account to a Facebook page. Lots of YouTube videos explain how to do this. Then you can create custom audiences to show your post to, or if you have a fair amount of followers, you can select automatic audience and it'll push your post to people who are like your followers. This is basically a simpler, dumbed down version of Facebook ads. Now, as stated earlier, you either have inventory now or you're doing a pre-order with your mock-up pictures. If you have inventory, you can immediately ship out the orders that were placed because you already have the clothing in hand. If you did the mock-up route and hosting a pre-order, then at some point you have to close your store and then place the order with your manufacturer. Pre-order drops make your customers wait a few weeks while the clothing is being made. And that's more or less how to start your clothing brand on a tight budget. You don't have to do all of these steps. Some do inevitably cost more, like promoting on archive pages and using ads, but you gotta spend money to make money at some point. Do what works for you. Like and subscribe if you learned something new, comment down below if you have any questions, and check out my brands. They're pretty cool. See ya.